may not be able to stop the storm or stop that we have to go through the storm, but sometimes knowing that it's a storm is very useful context. So, welcome back to the With Joe Wehbe Podcast. And this is a little in-between episode. So now you've listened to or seen the Minimum Viable Lifestyle, the 1,000 Doors, and Gillage, what I called the big three, the kind of big gateway. And now we're going to move into the more run-of-the-mill of this podcast, which will be a series on how we're wired and meaning fundamentals. So this is just a little precursor to that and acknowledgement of that, just to give you the context. So we'll be talking about a lot of things, obviously to do with how we're wired, happiness, self-awareness, knowing more about ourselves. Now, the reason I started by talking about the storm, well, that's because we've all had times that are less than optimal. I've certainly had those times myself. When I was younger, I only wish I knew what I knew now, what I'm about to talk about in these episodes coming up, because it really sets a lot of our struggles in context. To know that, in particular, a lot of the things we all go through are not actually individual to us. They're actually very universal. Not only are they universal, they're predictable. And we're going to explore why they're predictable. So, just some housekeeping again, because this is a little bit of an in-between episode. Just a reminder that, well, first of all, actually, thank you if you did listen to the big three, split over a couple of episodes, obviously, the first week. It's exciting to have this up and running. I'd love to hear what you think. Most contactable on Instagram at this stage, at @with_Joe Wehbe. And you can certainly continue to listen on. I do have the blogs. So just to remind you all, the blog articles form the basis of these episodes. Certainly the episodes are more comprehensive, usually, or go further and have a conversation around it, but the blog pieces are way ahead of where we are. So if you want to get a jump or explore a different idea, you can certainly browse the blog at any time, www.withjoewehbe, WEHBE for Wehbe.com, obviously /blog for the blog. All the podcast episodes will kind of get linked in to the relevant blogs anyway over time, but that is there if you prefer reading. That being said, you can also get those blogs with the podcast links emailed to you. There's a sign up on the website. It's currently called Conversations That Matter, and you can go and get that there, and you'll get these episodes and blog pieces in the order that I think they're most usefully consumed. So that's there for you if you need it. The podcast for now will continue to be daily, so that's hopefully exciting. But if you don't listen daily, certainly those other places might be useful, like Instagram will kind of announce and remind, so you can realize if a topic is more interesting to you, and then deeper dive into the blog or podcast, full podcast episode, if the little bites that are put up on Instagram and various other places too are insufficient. I think that's the housekeeping done. So big sigh of relief there. We will, I guess, now kind of proceed. So, wow, this is the best place to start, in my opinion. How we're wired and meaning fundamentals. To give a bit of a sneak peek about what you're going to be learning if you continue to tune in, is you're going to learn how happiness typically moves and changes over the course of a human lifetime. You'll start to learn whether younger people are happier than older people, or middle-aged people are happiest, or young people are happiest. You're going to get an insight into that. You're going to learn why you're not probably in control of your life. And you're going to learn about an animal that actually is in control of your life. And that's going to make a whole lot of things make sense to you. You're also going to learn what the number one predictor of good quality of life is. It's been shown above and beyond anything else. So these are all things to come in the very lengthy series of episodes on how we're wired and meaning fundamentals. And I look forward to exploring all those with you, and I will learn new things as we go. And in years' time, I'll look back at this series and think of 10,000 ways it could have been better. But that is the journey. The journey is never perfect. It's a journey. So that's something I always keep in mind. And I always try to remember the doors. Now, as I said at the start, I reminded you, any dark times I've had have been made a whole lot lighter when I've had clarity on the things we're about to talk about. But there were times when I had no idea, or I felt it was I that was the problem. I don't know how many people feel that way. You know, in the email I wrote setting this all up, which is in the email sign up on the site, I talked about the great tragedy I feel, which always comes when you realize things as valuable and life-changing as this, is that when you're aware of them, you're also consciously aware of how many people don't know those things. Not only the people that don't know those things, but the people that will never know those things. And it always strikes me that we'll never be able to reach so many people that need to know this stuff. But that's life. But I return to the doors. I don't know how many people will end up listening to any of this crap, right? But I know that you're listening right now. And I know that you're connected to other people. I don't know how many, but maybe it's in the tens, maybe it's in the thousands, I don't know. But you can open these doors for other people. You can take this so much further. So keep that in mind as you go. Who can you open a door for? Because as I will continually remind you every time we are together, the best way to open 1,000 doors for you is to concentrate on opening doors for others. Thank you. I look forward to this series with you.